how to launch a meeting in Microsoft Teams. So you need to be on a computer to launch the meeting. Other people can accept the meeting from other devices, a phone or an iPad, for example, if they've installed Microsoft Teams and logged in, but they can't launch the meeting. You can only launch it from on a computer. So if I open up Microsoft Teams, it's a good idea to leave your Microsoft Teams running all the time. If I open the Microsoft Teams, down here I've got various options. Activity will light up if somebody's invited me to something or sent me messages, depending what alerts I've set. Okay, most important function really is the Teams function. If I click on this, there's a list of all my teams. If I'm already in one of the teams, like this, then up here I can get back to all the teams. So there's a list of all the teams that I'm part of at the moment, because that includes lots of classes as well as PLC teams and things. So I'm going to use my timetabling team to demonstrate this. So I open the team, and there's the chat that might have been happening. If I open the science or the maths one, there'd be a whole load of messages backwards and forwards here between the science and maths teachers. If I want to send a message to Monica, I can just type at Monica and start typing in there. To launch a meeting, now, at the moment it's hidden in front of that toolbar. Down the bottom here, there's a Meet Now button. And if I click that, it'll start to launch a meeting. And if I want to, I can give that meeting a subject. I can type in what it's about. Perhaps we're having a meeting about timetabling. Don't have to type anything in there, doesn't matter. Meet Now, and it launches the meeting. Okay. What it will suggest down here is a list of people who are in that team. So there's me, there's Monica, there's nobody else in that team at the moment, but usually the team members get listed down here. If I want to invite Monica to come and join the meeting, I can click on these dots over on the right hand side and go ask to join, and it will try and call her. And she's unavailable, her computer's probably switched off or something. But if somebody's got an app, if I got their computer open with the app running, or got their phone or their iPad open with the app running, then that will call them and invite them to the meeting. If they're not in that list, because they're not part of the team perhaps, so I want to invite Enza to this meeting, I can start typing her name up there, click on her name, and I can invite her to the meeting. Pretty straightforward. Okay, now if I quit out of that meeting now, if somebody else has launched the meeting and you come into the team, let's say Enza has already started the meeting, Ina wasn't available at that time, so she comes along a little bit later. Okay, if she goes into that team, she'll usually see a meeting now join. Sometimes it seems to occur here, or if it's scrolled off the top of the screen up here, they'll somewhere up in the top right hand corner usually. There's often a join button, and there's a camera icon over here as well that shows that there's a meeting running in that team. So I can just get back into that meeting by clicking on that join button and go and join, and I'm into that meeting. There's nobody else in that meeting at the moment, but that's how I can get in. Another feature of the meetings up the top here is a new chat. So if you want to send chat messages while you do, you can use that. I haven't really used it because it kind of hides the other stuff a little bit too much. And I was trouble remembering how to get rid of it. I can show the conversation over here if I want to. So you can have a typed chat, messages going over there at the same time if you want to. By clicking on that. I can look at what the participants in the meeting are, clicking here. Don't know if I can have both. No, apparently not. I can turn the camera off or on. I can turn the microphone off or on. You can see how long the meeting's been running for. Kind of useful. I can click on there and I can show meeting notes if I want. So I can start. I haven't really used this function very much yet, but this might be a very good way for taking minutes during the meeting, because everybody can see them, I believe, providing they're on a computer anyway. I don't think you can see them from an iPad, but remember, Sean, remember to create video on how to use Microsoft Teams. Sean, to extract families information for Monica from Compass and process in Python. Okay, so it's 2 tasks for me that came out of that meeting, and I assume other people who go show meeting notes will be able, not only be able to see those meeting notes, but contribute to them. I haven't yet explored where they go when I close this, so I'm going to find out. You can turn off. We can record meetings if you want, but bear in mind you kind of need privacy permission if you're going to record a video conferencing. Certainly with the, well, not certainly with the kids. I don't think the department here in Victoria has released any guidelines yet, but the guidelines for New South Wales that were released yesterday say basically don't record the kids, because it's practically impossible to get the consent you would need. So all those consent things we've sent out are about online learning. They do not include consent to being recorded. So do not record students without consent. I don't know what the rules would be on recording other staff members. So that's some of the options I've got there. And then when I've finished, I can hang up the call. As long as somebody is still in the call, I can get back in just by rejoining it. If I go off to my other team and have a look at another team for a moment, so I'll click into the STEM one and click back here, go back into this timetable one, you can see it's still got that camera icon. Now, the question I have at the moment is where, there's the meeting notes, look, they're there. I can click on meeting notes and it tells me when it was edited and what it says. So that's probably a pretty good option for taking minutes of PLC meetings and things like that. Certainly I would probably use that as my way of taking minutes from a PLC meeting, because I can type it as I go and other staff members can see what's happening as I go. That will take me to a staff OneNote file if we set it up. That's something I will use, but probably the rest of you don't. This is the files tab, is where a load of other files can be kept, so a place potentially where certain information might need to be logged, but also for my maths team, this is where we're starting to put together the files that will support the resources we produce. And the posts is the general chat. There was something else I was going to do, if I can remember, if I go back into joining the meeting. And, add a room to your meeting to use its video system. I'm going to come back and explore that later, because that's a facility I didn't think we had, but I'm wondering what it does. So if I go join the meeting again, okay, another really important facility for people to get used to, and we're getting to the point where even the less computer savvy people in the maths and STEM team can do this fairly quickly now, because they're getting used to doing it, is if you go share, you can put up a whiteboard that everybody can scribble on. To be honest, I don't find it hugely wonderful on a computer because it's really difficult to write, but from my iPad I can do a fairly good job using the whiteboard. So much better than that if I try. So that's a really good feature for people who have got some kind of touch screen and then need to draw diagrams for the students and so on. But a little bit hard to use with a mouse. Now I've got to remember how I get rid of it. Stop presenting. Okay, the whiteboard's gone away. Rather more important is share. I can share a window that I've got open. Not quite sure what most of my windows that I've got open at the moment are. Or I can share my whole screen. Okay, so if I share the whole screen, then I can talk somebody through how to do something on their computer. So this has been enormously useful for showing a maths teacher how to log into a piece of software and how to use it. For example, if I need to talk to Monica on about some timetabling issues when we're doing proper timetabling, one of us can open time chart here. And we can both see sure it hasn't opened the timetable. We can both see the timetable and talk about it and work together on it. So it's really useful for working collaboratively. But it's also really useful for helping other people when they get stuck on using another piece of software. We found it massively useful in the maths and science teams for troubleshooting each other's problems. And that's pretty much it. When you've finished, you can hang up over here. As I said, the meeting only goes away when everybody in the meeting has ended the call. So now you can see that meeting's disappeared because the other participant, which was me on my iPad, has also ended the call. So the little camera thing's gone away, the join buttons have gone away. And so if I want the meeting again, I'd have to launch it. It works pretty well from an iPad or a phone. as well. You don't have to be in